So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist in Am I the Antagonist for refusing to let my wife pay for an elective surgery? So as always, I read the story in its entirety, take it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction, do the decoy defense, which is just the inverse of that. I read some top comments and the controversial comments and your comments down below, but let's go ahead and get to the story right now. So OP wrote, my wife, a 35-year-old female, has decided she wants to use 2 years of her child support money to finance a $10,000 cosmetic surgery. Only thing, she doesn't work and depends on a line of credit to do it. My goals are different, so as you can imagine, I plan on changing careers in about 2 years and would like to see myself debt-free by that time. Now, I make just enough where we might be okay. However, if an emergency occurs or the holiday season rolls around, I may need to ask her to help cover it. With her taking out this loan, that ability is gone. I take care of 2 children. One is hers from a previous marriage, and the other is ours. I'm placating the situation. I don't really have a better rebuttals to the whole "it's my money" argument, and honestly, just don't want to get into it right now. Am I the antagonist? And edit. Yes, we are together. No, the surgery isn't medically necessary. I won't go much more into the detail. Also, I give her extra spending money, and the only thing she really is responsible for is the groceries. So, take the case and rush it over the Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction to the whole situation. And honestly, I feel like this is a better thing to phrase it, saying like, OP isn't refusing to let their wife pay for an elective surgery. OP's refusing to let their wife steal from her kid to get rhinoplasty or augmentation or whatever it is. Like, no, it's not her money to spend on whatever she feels like. It's for the kids. It's child support. That's not what it's financed for. Like, obviously, OP's not trying to snitch on their wife, but honestly, if I saw that, and if I was the ex-husband or whoever, the baby daddy or something, I would be very upset if I knew that my non-working ex, who I'm paying child support to, got a brand new nose or something, or a brand new crisp jawline or something. I'd be like, wait, where did that money come from? I'd be upset, and I don't even know how the law works with that sort of thing, so maybe it's gonna impact the child support or not, but that's messed up to take the money away from the kid. I honestly would say that it's not about right and wrong here. It's about OP trying to keep the peace, and he's trying to keep the peace, but you're not the antagonist for saying, hey, you are not gonna put us in a financial bind because you want something to look different about yourself because you saw the Kardashians or some movie star like that. They say it's an elective surgery. I mean, if it's something like wisdom teeth or whatever where it's causing her extreme discomfort, I could see that, but I feel like that would be explicitly said inside this little blurb right now as to what it is. But obviously, I'm gonna take the decoy defense to the whole situation, and like, what would be a rational reason for, the wife for wanting to do this is maybe it's just something that she has been planning for a very long time, and setting that $10,000 aside wasn't actually just like stealing the money from the kid. It was financial savvy, and the idea is she was investing, so she has this $10,000. But no, I'm proving myself wrong because it was in a line of credit. The only thing I could say that would be the actual decoy defense is right now with the whole lockdown situation, maybe this $10,000 surgery is normally $50,000, and this is the best time for them to do it because the prices will shoot up later on. So maybe this is something they discussed before, or maybe this is an insecurity. This is really stretching with the decoy defense. This is a decoy defense that this is a surgery that OP has caused the whole insecurity about. Like, he's always talking about her overbite. Like, when are you gonna fix your overbite? Okay, leave it to Beaver. Okay, I don't know other ways to make fun of somebody with an overbite, but just the idea is he's the main cause for her wanting the elective surgery, so she just wants to do it to keep him happy because he is really into girls with just perfect white veneer teeth, and she wants to get it now finally, but he doesn't want to let her do it because he always wants to hang that over her head to feel superior. But as always, the decoy defense is just absurdity most of the time, so I'm going to go ahead and say an actual Decoy Court. He's not the antagonist. Can't be the antagonist for not wanting to trying to keep your kids in a good financial situation where if holidays come around or they get a medical bind that comes up out of nowhere, they don't got to stress out about it. Who cares if she has a brand new nose or whatever the elective surgery is? Let's, think about the kids. But as always, we'll take a short break. Make sure you guys are subscribed down below with the notifications on, and also giving me your feedback down below. What do you think is the real situation right here? What do you think about the decoy defense? And before we get to the top comments, because sometimes that changes our mind. So the top comment right now is, No, you're not the antagonist. Child support money is for child support, not elective cosmetic surgery. What was your wife thinking? So there's a couple of really, really negative replies to this, but I'm very interested to see what they're saying right here. So the negative post was, they're still together. I have no idea why she is calling it child support. It's her money too. Just because she's a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean she can't make financial decisions or want expensive things for herself. But I think OP, maybe it happened later on, clarified that it was from a previous, like she has a kid from somebody else, so it's not their money. He's not calling it child support. The idea is, like, why are they calling it child support? It's because it is, but they just decided to ignore that fact. And the next reply that got heavily downvoted was, probably that she is a partner in a relationship and doesn't need to exist on air because her labor isn't monetized. Then get a job, shrug face. So I see everybody's gonna this is gonna devolve into just people arguing, which I did experience in my one post. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out. It's the double standard that is r/relationships, or just Reddit in general. Check out that post because there's a lot of good information on there as to if a man does something, it's okay, but if a woman does something, it's terrible. It was the inverse. I don't know. Make sure you check out that video because it's very interesting over there. But let's go ahead and go to the next top post right now that says, not the antagonist, your wife is. That is child support money. That means it's to support the child, not her cosmetic surgery, which is true, which is very true. While I agree with that sentiment, may I offer a scenario? I receive child support on a specific card. I pay for school lunches, insurance, field trips, clothes, and food with my bank card because it's more convenient. The money on the child support builds to a significant amount. I use this money to purchase an item for myself because I have been using my money from my bank account to care for my children. Who's to say that money hasn't been spent 3 times over on the kids? And the one thing I would say is the reason it hasn't been spent 3 times over on the kids because she has no income at all. He tells her that she needs to buy groceries. So just the idea is, maybe through very, very good financial savvy, she's been saving enough money where this is an okay thing, but all evidence is pointing the other way. But let's go ahead and read one more top comment right now saying, we need more information. What's the surgery? Difficult to form a solid opinion on here without knowing, to be honest. Is it a self-esteem thing? Is it to correct something that makes her life difficult? Although you might not see it that way, would it benefit you if she had this surgery in terms of family life and her mental health? Or is this, I want to be BBL because I want to be a Brazilian butt lift because I want a bigger bum situation? Also, you said use 2 years of child support money to finance this. Surely child support would go towards the child, which is the argument right there because she's trying to use that money selfishly. And the one thing I would say is, yeah, maybe she wants a breast reduction and it's causing her back pain, and you know, she used to play tennis and go jogging, but now post the kid, she just really wants a breast augmentation or reduction surgery. So I could see that being where it's like elective surgery where as a guy we just don't know what it is to have, you know, triple E cups or something where you just like your standard of living is very different after you had that. I mean, I'm trying to talk out of my butt right now, but I could see that being a thing where the guy's like, yo, hell no, like you're not spending my money on just changing things up. He loves it the way it is. Stop bickering about not being able to jog. So obviously getting on the level of absurdity, but let's go ahead and go to the controversial because we'll see what this is saying. So the top controversial comment was, it's not her money, it's her kid's money. This is unconscionable. I wish I could pronounce that word. This is unconscionable. Edit to say not the antagonist. True. Not the antagonist. It's not her money. It's her child's money. If she was spending her money, for example, alimony, then you'd be the antagonist. Very true. Very true. Next one is, need more information. Did your wife save up all the child support money over 2 years like some sort of personal allowance instead of dispersing it to the child household or saving it for the child later? Child support is not something I think generally needs to be itemized, as a kid lives in a house, needs rent paid, gas put in cars for transportation, and so on. But just to save it strictly for your own personal use isn't the abuse of it. So I agree with all that said right there in the sense of, if it was something that she just pulled together and she had the money, that's okay. But just the simple fact that they said she had to put all that money in a open up a new line of credit on OP's behalf because using their credit to finance a $10,000 surgery doesn't make me think that they had the financial savvy to save up the money. It was just this thing, hey, I want this surgery, I'm gonna get it right now, so you deal with the potential consequences of it. I don't like the way this looks, top to bottom. So I'm really not going to change my opinion as to whether they're the antagonist or not. I think that they're definitely not the antagonist. The wife is probably being really, really selfish by saying she's going to spend money she doesn't have on the future of her children, because you know the child support money, what if the kid needs braces or something and it's like, oh, that money's already been spoken for on all the Botox on her and lip injections on her face. Like, I don't know how much that costs, but just a simple fact that I think that, yeah, no, he shouldn't be browbeat for this at all. He's doing the right thing. I think that the only reason is, you know, OP's trying to keep the peace, and you know, the wife has some terrible idea as to how she's going to get the surgery, and the only thing that's standing in her way of her happiness and getting what she wants is OP. So obviously she's going to take it out on him, saying, I have a plan for this, I'm going to do this, but you're being a jerk. Like, you know, you're not letting me live my life, you're being so controlling, blah blah blah. Which is, you know, sad to say, this is probably not the only problem that OP has with the wife, because I can't imagine any of the girls that I've been in long-term relationships saying, hey, I'm going to take the money that's already been earmarked for my kids, I'm going to spend it on my self-esteem. I don't know, maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I don't believe that's a thing. So as always, make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on so you guys can just be part of the party. You know, in the first hour, we always get the best comments and people are replying, and it's a really good community. If you like the content so much, make sure you make it into the celebration at the end every time so you can be sharing and liking and, you know, favoriting and just letting me know if you like the old content, you like the new content, or what do you suggestions you would have to make this better, because I'm still struggling. But if you really like it, make sure you send the video to somebody else you think would also enjoy it, or sharing the channel overall. Maybe they'll like the content. But as always, you don't got to do any of that. Just put this on autoplay and watch the next episode of DecoyNoise coming up next.